Good evening, Acharya ji. I'm Brijesh Kumar from Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. I'm MTech scholar at NIT-Silchar. Acharya ji, my question is related to failure and success. Like we have seen in our society that whenever there is a two student preparing for the same exam, if one fails, he is applauded, and if one fails, he is discriminated and demotivated, and if one gets success, he is applauded for the same reason. I'm asking, my question is why, if both does the same hard work for the same work, why the one who gets the success is applauded and one who failed is demotivated and discouraged?
There is no such law mandating that the one who fails must feel discouraged or disappointed. However, we cannot stop people from doing what they do. Most people value power, position, success. So that's what they go after, that's what they respect. People may do whatever they want to do. How do you stop them? You are wearing blue right now. Somebody may not like blue and say a few nasty things to you. How do you stop him from saying that? So that's the reason. Why do people like success? Because power pleases the ego. Ego needs power to survive. Ego does not have the truth, so it needs to have a substitute. And power is an easy substitute for truth. So that's what people value and venerate. The question must be, why must you feel disappointed and dejected? Why must you be so vulnerable to what people are saying? Nobody can stop the world from doing or saying something. People have their own choices, their own value systems, and it's a supposedly free world. Why must you feel so concerned about how people respond to your life situations?
Acharya, the reason is that from birth we are taught to look after the success only. Like if we didn't get success, we are like discouraged afterwards. So, like in our surrounding, if I don't get success, the people around us will discourage us, and we are taught in such a manner that we are affected by the surroundings, their comments and their discouragements.
That might be applicable to, let's say, a 2-year-old, a 5-year-old who is a mere toy, a puppet in the hands of others. But how old are you? You must be in your mid-20s. Why do you say now at your stage that this is the way I was taught, this is the way I have been conditioned? Today, really, there is no need for you to feel so vulnerable and so dependent. You must know what you want to do. You must know something that is worth succeeding at. And if there is something worth doing, then do it with all your might, all your resources. If there is one kind of outcome, respond to it. If there is another kind of outcome, respond to it. Respond to it knowing fully well that the task is worth it. But in the entire little while you have spoken as if you are very passively just an instrument in the hands of others with no agency of your own. As if there is no volition, no free will, no consciousness that you can exercise. Why do you want to feel so helpless and so dependent? Others matter to all of us, I fully understand. But not beyond a point, and not beyond an age, and not in all matters. You write an exam, obviously you depend on the examiner to award you marks. And it's on the sweet will of the examiner whether you get 80 or 70. That much authority or discretion he carries. You may feel you must get 80, he awards you just 70, that's fine. But why must the examiner have a hold over your inner state as well? He may decide to give you 70 marks, but why are you letting him decide how you are going to respond to those 70 marks? That must be your inner sovereignty. You must be your own inner master, no? Is there really a need to act so helpless and dependent?
I'm getting Acharya. The thing is that to show off, I can say that like I'm not affected by the someone or someone comments her, but deep down me, I know that it is it is affecting me, and it's, maybe I'm weak emotionally or something else, but deep down I know that it is affecting me personally. I'm saying.
No, I'm not saying that we all should live in an ideal world and loudly declare that we are not affected at all by what others say or do. We definitely do relate to others, and that relating does include being affected by others. But there has to be a healthy limit to it, no? I'm talking about that limit. I'm not asking you to act in an ideal, utopian, superhuman way and declare that you are totally impervious to the influence of others. No, no, that cannot happen. I agree with you, right? And if somebody declares that, most probably he is just being a bit of a hypocrite. But ask yourself, what do you get by putting others' opinions so much above your own? Ask yourself factually, do you know your situation better or do others do?
Acharya, you were saying that there should be a limit. So I'm asking that who must be drawing that line of limit, that after
No.
that we must not be affected.
You. You draw that line. You decide the limit. The intention has to be to set the limit as small as possible. And in some sense, that is the purpose of being young. Broadly speaking, that is the purpose of this entire life. To keep getting more and more independent. The limit that we are talking of is the limit to which others can command us, control us, dictate us. And when we say others, we do not merely mean people. We mean situations. We mean everything that is circumstantial in life. Right? The whole purpose of this game of life is to be independent. Freedom is what we are here for. You see, when you are born, you are completely dependent, no? Even for your birth, you are dependent on two other people. And then somebody has to nurse you, feed you, educate you, bring you up, clothe you. All the knowledge that is given to you is knowledge coming from others. So life begins in dependency. And the purpose of life is to become independent before life ends, and as soon as possible, as early as possible. Right? So you're asking who sets that limit. Even in this question, you are displaying dependency. You are saying, let somebody else come and tell me the limit to which I should be independent, or the limit to which others can exercise control over me. That limit to which you are dependent on others is the extent of, let's say, your slavery. It's a matter of the heart that no one wants to live and die a slave. Now, how can somebody else come and tell you what extent of slavery is acceptable? Can somebody else come and dictate to you that, to an extent of 18.5% slavery is happily acceptable? Is slavery acceptable even to the extent of 1%? I don't suppose it should be. So nobody else can tell you these things. It's a matter of the heart. I do not like to be enslaved. And to be so dependent on what others are saying, doing, feeling, opinionating, is to be de facto a slave. The chains need not always be very visible and metallic. The chains can be inner and subtle. Right? It's a very bad kind of bondage, a deep inner slavery, to be always looking at others, to have very little idea of oneself. In fact, the compulsion to look at even oneself through the eyes of others. I want to look at how I am doing. I want to look at how worthy or valuable or successful I am. How do I do that? I look into the eyes of others to know how I am looking. It's a very helpless kind of state of existence, no? Others become your lords. Do you like that? That's what a young man must rebel against.
But Acharya, the whole education system is like that. Like if you are giving an exam, we are dependent on others. Like if he gives me the good mark, then I'm valuing myself. So the whole education system or the system that we are in is like this only, that we are dependent on others. If they gives us a good mark, then we value us more, or else we value us less.
See, first of all, do
And the
not
other side is also that
speak in terms of we. At least in language, be an individual. Say, I value myself, not we value this. You are not a crowd, are you? Secondly, do you do everything for marks' sake? How many marks are you getting by talking to me? You are acting as if you are totally helpless in front of the systems that run the world, including the education system. Don't you see that the education system itself is giving you the choice to interact to me, and you made that choice? Why don't you want to talk about your ability and freedom to choose? Was it mandatory in your campus to speak to me? You were given a choice and you made use of the choice. And that's what one has to focus on. One's freedom and power to choose. And the more you exercise this choice, the more capable you become of exercising it. And the more you keep telling yourself, oh, I'm so helpless, so dependent, so small, so powerless, there is no choice, I'm a mere puppet in the hands of the system, the more you will remain as such. Internally, first of all, you have to ask yourself, am I really so choiceless, so dependent? And the answer will be no, you are not. It's just that over time, one develops incentives to act helpless. Don't you know that? If you say I am weak, the very systems of the world are designed to help you and save you from exerting yourself, save you from exposure to harsh circumstances. So there is comfort, right? If I say I am weak, nobody asks me to do anything. Then I develop a vested interest in remaining weak or pretending to be weak. Not only that, I will say, you made me weak. The family system made me weak, the education system made me weak, the political system, the society, they all made me weak. Therefore, now, to compensate, it is your responsibility to keep helping me throughout my life. Because I am weak and you made me weak. Your teachings were like that. So you take care of me. You subsidize my life. Emotionally, you must support me. And what's more, financially, we start seeking even financial support, citing our weaknesses, don't we? So this weakness is a very tempting thing. Kindly be cautious of it. First of all, it is false, you are not actually so weak. Secondly, it is very tempting. You are tempted to play the weak child, even if you are actually a strong young man. I have a headache, so I will do nothing at home. I will do nothing at home. Somebody has to go out to get something, and the sun is hard. Oh, I have a headache and I am feeling very weak today. Probably I am dehydrated. So somebody else does all the work. I'll relax at home. Do you see how violent this weakness is and how exploitative? So be cautious of it. You are not weak. Weakness is not your nature. There is no need for you to be using others as crutches. And also remember that awakening your strength is a process that demands a price. You have to pay the price. The price is effort. The price is the courage to make the right choices. But paying the price is worth it. Even when there is a great outer and inner temptation to act weak and get some benefits, make it a matter of your self-esteem to never act weak. Even if the feeling inside you tells you that you are actually weak. There is a critical situation and you are standing there and somebody asks you, are you all right? Are you all right? And you might be feeling a little jittery in the pit of your stomach. But still there is no need to make a huge show of it. Just say, yes, I am feeling something, but I am all right. I do not deny that the circumstances are influencing me, but still I am all right. I want to exercise my power to not to be hostage to circumstances. I am not a god, I am a human being. So I cannot deny that the world has a certain effect over me, that I do get afraid, I do get nervous and tempted. All these things do happen. But equally I want to assert my right to not to be influenced by them. The world is doing what it does, and what does the world do? The world extends its influence over you, casts its spell over you, and you cannot stop the world from doing that. That is the thing we began our interaction with, right? You cannot stop the world from doing its thing, and it is the thing of the world to try to co-opt you, suck you in. That is what the world tries to do. You do what you must do, irrespective of what the world is doing. The world is trying to enslave you, your job is to remain free. Right?
Right, Acharya. Thank you for the guidance. It was honor to hear from you.
Thank you.